Hi, friend. My name is Elizabeth Massey, and I just want to welcome you in right now and offer you some words of peace, and words of comfort, and words of encouragement, and words of hope today. It's likely that you've turned on this video because you're facing life adversity, change, major losses in your life that kind of leave you reeling and wondering how you're going to make it through this. Every loss is different. Your response to each of the losses that you have in your life or challenges that you navigate, you're going to respond differently. And today I'm just going to give you some key concepts to hold on to. It's going to be very brief because when we're facing fresh loss, it is really hard to concentrate. So I'm going to keep it brief and simple. And just know there is further support, and you can just click on another video that is designed just for you to provide peace, hope, and encouragement. I want to start with a quote by Viktor Frankl. It's one of my favorite quotes because it's so true and it's profound. Now, Viktor Frankl was a medical doctor, also a psychiatrist, who navigated and survived the Holocaust. He was amazing before the Holocaust. He was amazing through it. And he noticed some things that were so important. And he has written a book called Man's Search for Meaning. And I encourage you to read that too. It's really going to speak to you. So this is the quote by Viktor Frankl that I just hold on to and I love. It says, quote, "Pain is only bearable if we know it will end, not if we deny it exists." And it's in the moments of embracing the pain and working through the hard stuff that we really find the treasures. They're going to help us navigate the rest of our lives, because we can do this well. Yes, it looks messy, and it is what I call the messy middle, and it doesn't always look pretty, and it's really hard to navigate, but you can do this. I want to leave you with this. You can do this. It's not impossible. And when you learn to grieve well, when you learn to mourn well, you then can embrace life and live well. And like I mentioned, there are more resources, not just this video, but I just kind of wanted to go over the key concepts of navigating life difficulty. So we talk about pain being bearable. It's not always going to last forever. We're going to make it through this. So these are the other key concepts that I want to leave you with. There is hope. You can make it through this. Hold on, pain ends. Meaning the intensity of that pain lessens tremendously as you heal. It's not that time passes and we heal from our losses or through our challenges. It's what we do with the time that we have, strategically, leaning into it, leaning away, leaning into it, leaning away, and getting the support that we need when we need it, and having a supportive support system. I can't stress how important that is. A lot of times we're surrounded with people who want us to grieve like they want us to grieve, or more than likely, they're wanting to shut down your intense emotion because it's making them really uncomfortable, and it's bringing up a lot of unresolved stuff that they're feeling. And so if they can get you to feel differently, then they're gonna feel better. And that's okay. Most people have the best of intentions, but sometimes they're just not really helpful. I know I used to tell my dad, who loved me dearly and supported me in every way, but he wanted me to do things his way a lot of times, and his way didn't work for me, or sometimes he was trying to help me. So he'd go, "Baby girl, how can I help you?" And I would respectfully say, "Please stop helping," because his support wasn't really what I needed the way he was delivering it to me. The cool thing was he cared. The cool thing was he loved me. The cool thing was he really wanted me to feel better and to be okay. And sometimes he would rush around and do things in his discomfort that he thought could help me feel better. And like I said, sometimes it was helpful. Most of the times it wasn't, but I knew he loved me and cared about me. But we're going to move on, and I'm going to share some things that are going to be incredibly helpful to you. These are tools that you can just stick in your back pocket and pull them out when you need them. There are only 3 rules. Number 1, I can't hurt myself. Number 2, I can't hurt others. And number 3, I will not destroy property. The reason I threw this one in there is because you might hurt yourself in the process. A lot of times when we are raging or we're having a really hard time, it's better to hit a punching bag than start throwing things around. And the second thing is, a lot of times people destroy things that they actually wish they hadn't because they really wanted them for later and they were meaningful and they destroyed them in the process, but they came to miss those things later. So it helps to treat yourself with kindness. Have some self-compassion. Treat yourself like you would your best friend. Number 2, be patient with yourself. Number 3, grief is usually more intense and longer lasting than we ever expected. Number 4, take good care of yourself. Grief is exhausting for the griever and the supporter. Taking the best care of yourself that you can is crucial in healing and when supporting someone else at their healing. Be where you are without judgment of yourself. When you're navigating adversity, life challenges, loss, you're navigating change, you're navigating grief, and there are some morning things that are going to help. But don't judge where you're at. Don't should on yourself. Don't hold yourself to the standard of, I must be perfect in everything I do. I must, it should look this way. Strength looks this way by shutting down your emotion, by not crying, by not doing the things that are going to help you to heal. Because that old garbage about pulling yourself up by your bootstraps and just getting over grief, it doesn't work. It does not work that way. Because when you shut down uncomfortable emotion, you also shut down your joy. It is not isolated to uncomfortable emotion when you shut your emotions down. It actually shuts everything down. So the idea is to embrace this, to embrace your pain as well as your joy. When you're feeling joy and you're feeling lighter, embrace those moments. When you're feeling not okay, it's okay not to be okay. Allow yourself to feel what you're feeling in the moment and be fully present in that moment. Feel all your feels, because your emotions are intelligent and they are telling you something. And a lot of times you can take it down and go deeper with that. And if you need more support, it is not a weakness, it is a strength. Because when we don't allow ourselves to engage the support that we need when we need it, we are weakening ourselves. We're not making ourselves stronger. And that's one reason I'm making this video. I want you to watch it more than once because it's going to take a little bit for all of it to sink in. So be where you're at without judgment of yourself. Unrealistic expectations and judgment will only cause more stress and it will stifle your healing. And guess what? There is no right or wrong way to grieve. There's only healthy and unhealthy ways of responding to loss. There is no timetable for grieving. It is an active process. So it is a process that you engage in, you actively engage in. It's not something that happens to you. Like we said earlier about time passing and time heals all wounds. That's garbage. Time can lessen the pain when you're doing your work, when you are mourning presently, when you're engaging with it intentionally, when you set your intention to heal. And setting your intention to heal is not a betrayal of your loved one or your hope or your dream or your loss or giving up. It is not going to get you further away from being able to remember your loved one if you lost them through death, if your loss was through death. Actually, being fully present and feeling all your feels and being intentional about being comfortable with healing is powerful. It's a gift that you're going to give yourself, and it's a gift that you're going to give those that love you, your family and your friends and your coworkers, and the people that you are serving and making a positive impact with. Your healing heals others. Your children are watching you. If you have children, even if you don't have children of your own, you might have nieces or nephews or children in your life that someone else's grandchildren. What you do matters. What you do matters to yourself. What you do matters to others deeply. And the children in our life don't do what we say. They watch us and they end up doing what we do. So if you can model healthy grieving for them and leaning into it and leaning away and utilizing those rituals of mourning, and we're going to talk more about that later, you're giving them tools to face the most difficult circumstances that they're ever going to face in their life. And that is any loss that profoundly affects you, whether it's through death, whether it's through losing your home, whether it's through loss of a job, whether it's immigration loss, moving to another country. Whatever your loss is, you can do it well with the proper tools. And when you heal well, you can positively impact your life and those around you. So again, there's no right or wrong way to grieve, and there's no timetable for grieving. And you don't get over it, you go through it. And having an emotionally safe support system is crucial. And Heal Well and Thrive is here for you. We are here for you to help you walk this path and to help empower you with tools that are going to positively affect your life and the lives of those around you. Another important thing to know is you are not going crazy. You are not alone, and you do not have to grieve alone. My heart is with you. My team's heart is with you, and we are a haven of hope, peace, comfort, strength, and we have a healing well of resources available to you. Grief is a process, not an event, through which we can heal. We can heal well. We can feel whole, and we can thrive. We can rise and thrive after devastating loss. And guess what? You can trust the process. We're a safe haven for you. We are beside you as you navigate your loss, your grief, your mourning, your life transition, your adversity, your change, and we support WINGS. And I love the acronym WINGS because it stands for you. Willing individuals now growing stronger. Come rise and thrive with us. We are here for you. www.healwellthrive.com. My name is Elizabeth Massey, and I'm so glad that I could spend this time with you. God bless, and I'm wishing you as much peace, comfort, and love as you can feel in this moment right now. And just know we're a safe haven for you. Bye for now.